Hello everyone. Today I will try again Advent of Code 2021, specifically day 18. I already tried a few months ago. I think it was about 3 months ago when GPT-4 was relatively fresh and I wasn't able to solve the challenge. I tried for about 2 hours, tried with different prompting, tried with different programming language, but I wasn't able. However, later on I give another shot and I was trying with a newer version of GPT-4 some of the dates, I think on 12th of May, which introduced new features, introduced the plugins and so on. But again, the the complete solution was missing, and the chatbot wasn't able to do it. However, now it's a new release with the code interpreter, the code interpreter, and I give a try to solve it with it, and unfortunately, I wasn't able. I'm not sure. I probably will not upload the video because it was about hour and a half going back and forward. But I update the code in which I saw what I was doing. I tried to do it initially by, if you have seen my videos, what I do is I have one prompt file in which I'm saving all the, well, not all of it, but the main questions that I'm prompting to the model. I'm saying which model I'm asking and always giving the answers and what kind of information being in them and so on. However, with Go, there was some improvement, but it's hard for me to say if that was due to GPT-4 getting better or me being better with the prompting and asking, let's work this out in a step-by-step way to be sure that we have the right answer, and all these additional techniques that are helping the chatbot to split the solution to chunks, and after that try to implement all of them and so on. But even, yeah, in my opinion, a little bit better approach and was probably closer to final solution, or at least was able to generate the entire solution and fit it in the context windows and so on. Didn't work. However, trying it with Python, it get much closer in my opinion, and made me think that I probably should give another try, but because now I have the ability to actually upload files, I was thinking to actually split the input and the output differently and to use files and to see if that will give us some advantages and if we'll be able to solve day 18. Let's go through what would be our approach roughly. As how I structured the projects, I actually add the main file for so far in Go, but this time I will use mainly Python because GPT-4 can internally execute Python code, can run some tests, and can do a lot more stuff than available with Go. For that purpose, I will have my main Python file, in which I will be running from the console. I will have one input file. That's actually the input that I have. And also one test file that is with a sample input that we'll be able to iterate and will give to ChatGPT and wanting to get the correct answer. Also in my prompts markup file, I will continue with the approach previously, but will simply adjust what actually we've been doing here. Instead of providing the task text, the task will simply be a text file, and we'll have this text file again. And let's see how we'll. One second. Let me copy this previous day, the folder. Let's come here. That's fantastic. Rename that to hopefully part 1 without a failure this time. Here, if we go back, we'll not have anymore this Go file. Instead of it, we'll use Python and our test file. I think for the moment it's fine. And instead of the task here, and as you can see, I was trying hard. Task, text, and yeah, let me check that text. Okay, let's think a little bit for the context. You're a prominent competitive programmer. You have been invited to participate in programming competition. You are given a task to solve. The task will be provided in text file. Task. Instruction: write a Python program to solve the task and read input from test file. The understand yeah well and set up. Okay, let's start with this one, and that will be our initial input. And here I will add also file task, and the task will really be, as you can imagine, the information for the challenge. Simply, if you haven't watched my previous attempt to recap what is the task about, we're in the ocean, we're in a submarine, and we're having a snailfish that can give us a sleigh key that we can use to to unlock something. It doesn't matter. The main point is that to get this slave key, we need to solve to help the snailfish with his math work. What's the math homework? It's simple on first glance exercise in which we are dealing with snailfish numbers. The numbers are ordered list of 2 elements. They're not like traditional numbers, and each element can be either other pair, can be, or a regular number. For example, that is valid snailfish number 1, 2. That's another one that is valid, and they, as you can see, they can be nested. That's the snailfish numbers. After that, we can act on this number or apply an operation. The operation that we have is addition, and addition it's more or less like concatenating lists and creating a new list with one extra level. Simply connecting the two lists and making from it a new one. Once we're doing these additions, we need to perform some reduction of the newly created number after we added 2, and the important part for reducing this number, I will read through. To reduce a snailfish number, you must repeatedly do the first action in this list that applies to the snailfish number. If any pair is nested inside 4 pairs, like here we have it, this place here, we're applying the leftmost such pair explodes. For example, we have 4 levels, and here this one simply explodes. What's the explosion? We'll see a little bit later. If any regular number is 10 or greater, the leftmost such regular number splits to 2. Once no action in the above list applied, the snailfish number is reduced. During reduction, at most one action applies, which means that firstly we need to return to the top of the list of the action and apply the following one. For example, if split produces a pair that meets the explode criteria, that pair explodes before other split occurs, and so on. We need to do it iteratively, doing explosion, and after that checking with the produced number if there is a need to do split. After the split is done, we are going back to explode, and so forth, up to the moment that we don't need to perform neither explode nor split. Once we have such a reduced number, here are some operations how the reduction is done. We will not go in depth because we want to solve the problem more or less with GPT-4 and to see if it's capable to do it. We have some additions of numbers of our list. We have one example that probably I will grab here, and we use our input, probably smaller one. Do we have some smaller one that yeah, I think this one is small one. Let me grab this one and let me put it in test. Okay, perfect. And once we reduce the numbers, we get to the point that we need to perform some operation. We need to add all of these numbers. To check whether it's the right answer, the Snowfish teacher only checks the magnitude of the final sum. The magnitude of pair is 3 times the magnitude of its left element plus 2 times the magnitude of its right element. Here it's an algorithm how we can actually calculate the final result, and we have some information for each of the reduced numbers, what's their value, and we simply need to add all of them up and we get some given example. And we have, okay, that's the standard example, I think. Yeah, let's go with this one, and we'll need to have this one to be equal to that number. Okay, let me choose. I have the code interpreter, and let me firstly ask if the ChatGPT, let me see, I think once I ask the first question, I will be able to see which model I'm using. Yeah. Yes, I understand my role. Set on complete program and blah blah blah. Okay, fantastic. And here we have the output. Yeah, fantastic. And now it's asking me for having test and task. There's the task file. Okay, it's only the task. Yeah, here's the task file. With one of the solution of the task and some code that we can test in the following step when I give you this text file and expected answer for your code. Let's work this out in a step-by-step way to be sure we have the right answer. Two, yeah, perfect. And we're getting some response. Let's see what will happen with that. We can see at the moment it's getting our task and it's reading the file. Now it's explaining the task to us, that the task is solving a problem involving fictional number used by snailfish. This number system operates with pairs of numbers, and the task is to perform additional operations on those pairs while obeying a specific set of rules. And as we talked already, in three main parts, we need firstly to do additions to add the snailfish numbers from a pair from the left and the right parameter of the addition operator. We need to do this reduction that we were talking after we were adding the numbers. After performing an addition, the result snailfish number must be reduced according to a specific set of rules. Reduction involves two main operations. And here the two operations, they are explode and split. Explode, if any pair is nested inside four pairs, the leftmost such pair explodes. Exactly. The pair's left value is added to the first regular number to the left of the exploding pair, if any, and the pair right's value is added to the first regular number to the right of the exploding pair, if any. Then the entire exploding pair is replaced with the regular number 0, which means that this here, if we go back to the examples, when we start with adding a number, we start with this number explodes because there is nothing on the left side. We're ending up with 0. However, from the 8 here it's 1, we add them and we are getting 9, and we have a less nested pair. The same here, we have another example that doesn't have on the right side, and again we're replacing simply 2 with 0. Here's no regular number to its right side. The left side is added to this one, and so on. Here we have another example with having this 2 actually being replaced with 0, but having that part flying, so to say, up to here, and being added here to 3, and so on. Then we export numbers in this way, and we add it in adjusting it, and every time doing that we reduce the number of dimensions of the array. And now splitting. If any regular number is 10 or greater, the leftmost such regular number splits into pairs. The left element of the pair is a regular number divided by 2 and rounded down, while the right element of the pair is the regular number divided by 2 and rounded up. Okay, let me see here in the example what's the split. Split is regular, replace it with a pair. The left element of the pair should be the regular number divided by 2 and rounded down. Okay, if we have 5, we divide it by 2 and rounded down, that will be from 2.5 will be 2. While the right element of the pair should be regular number divided by 2 but rounded up, that will be 3 in that case. For example, 10 is 5 and 5, 11 is 5 and 6, and so on. Here is the process of finding the regular results. we have this addition. We're adding these two numbers. After that we have this that's two nested. We explode it. We get 0 and 7, 4. What's happening here on the explosion? After that we do another explosion. Once the explosion are done, we're continuing with split, another split, after that another explosion, and once no reduced action applied, the snailfish number can remain as actual. Okay, and that's our final snailfish number. Magnitude calculation. After all of numbers have been added and reduced, the magnitude of the final sum must be calculated. The magnitude of a pair is 3 times the magnitude of its left element plus 2 times magnitude of right element. And we're problem is the magnitude of pair is 3 times the magnitude of its left element plus 2 times the right one, and we simply add it and removing the brackets. What we should do: parse input, implement addition, implement reduction, implement magnitude calculation, perform calculation. Okay. Review. Do step 1 to step 5, and here is a test TX file that should produce what was the answer. A very original, this one. Perform the calculation. Let's work this out step by step way to be sure we have the right answer. I should go here, have our see. But that, and we have prompt tree. Before to do that, let me grab the info from here. And let's see how it's going. Now what's going on? Here we can debug, we have the parse of the input, we're reading all the lines, after that splitting the file. It seems correct. 4 is the bottom, yes, and starts with 051, that seems fine. Okay. And we'll continue prompt, continue. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let me meanwhile, sorry about that. to okay, now it's trying to simply talking about that wants to implement step 3 next. It wants explode. Now implement step 3. Okay, now it's doing that. Let's see what it's doing. Actually, it's time. Snailfish export, snailfish number. We have this, we have wow. We have stack, we're popping up from it. We're checking some path and so on. Okay, it has some error. Let's ignore it and simply regenerate. I'm not sure which approach is better, to simply regenerate a new version or to tell it to do some further adjustment. I personally think, especially in such kind of failures, it's better to simply continue from this position, in which has this context in the plan, and I'm saying simply to proceed. Okay, now it's another, it's having the add values procedure, it's having snailfish export, it has internally snailfish recursive function. I'm not sure that can do that. Obviously, for the road, the export operation has a bit of complexity. You need to keep track of the path to the current pair. Okay, the nearest left and right regular number to add export virus. I think that if it fails again, I will simply add to the initial prompt this part implement step 3. Not. Yeah, let's have this bit. If it fails, now it has problems with that, some other problems with so that is doing what is doing that. Upright. Pressing snail 0, snail 1, because that's this broken. Let's copy it. Now it's trying to test them. It might be that we'll need to test it differently. Okay, it's taking some time, but it's not probably internally executing some code to execute these three functions. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, let's go to nodes, and then the first one is this one. Second, be careful not to let them move. Is it anything else? Upright, exposed. It's again the same story. Okay, let's stop it now. And what can we do? It's actually, instead of trying to correct it, going here and having our new amended input. Yep. Let's see. Now let's move on splitting. At least here it's claiming that that's enough. Reverse path. Net number. Right number. Yeah, I would. Network error. Let's see. Open a status. They have some ChatGPT, some bad outage. A few days ago, again, the Lee was problematic. The Lee was problematic. Playground is 100% and so on. Looks like the API is the worst. After that is the, in very similar manner, is the client, browser and mobile, and apps, and the playground been working all the time. No, I actually think that's even worse. Let me see. Okay. Adding this check, it's regular number. Is that correct? Because if I export this one, it will be 0, and that will be 9. Could you continue? Okay, I already start feeling that doesn't go the way that I was hoping to go, but nevertheless, let's continue and see. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. No, I don't think that's. If you are sure that you follow all the rules, please continue with step 4. Let's work this out in a step-by-step way to be sure. Let's go ahead to provide data on how to test. Okay, that's part input, snowfish out. Okay, Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm a very big fan of this one so far. This one. Let me, before to the chatbot, that I need to do Python and it doesn't do anything because file input. Okay, then function. Okay, I can do the main function at the end. Main function. Yeah, why is that? Because I don't have this main. That's the case. And there is no, because I'm there dating hard. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Again, nice. Mm-hmm. And here it's something incorrect. But let's copy the whole thing and see if we'll be able to spot. It should be 40, I think was. What was? 4140 and it's 44058. Okay. Let me go here. Let's first add the test. Let's add that. Let's work that. Let's work the answering step-by-step fashion. I can. Okay. And the error that I had. That's very good. Okay, let's use that phrase. I think it's fun. Let's suggest suggesting that. Let's see the issues. Okay. Okay, it's checking the number, adding, reduce, after that it's going. Let's do so. Let's do so. Let's see if we'll be. No, it's adding a helper and so on. It's going. Yeah. It's adding disability. Okay, I think get really bloated. That and there. send correctly the task and provide again. Pay attention to the examples in the task description. Work is out. That's the best way to have the okay, now it's okay, it's talking that we're correct. That won't be the case. I will not doubt it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Not bad. Mm-hmm. Do it. Do it. Okay. So getting Tara already. I was trying that for some time. It didn't work. And It's still, I can see a lot of potential in this new method, but yeah, software reference one place. It's very. It's getting significantly more capable. However, how much really? Mm-hmm. And this out in a step by step way to be sure. I think that's both, but let's finish this one by trying. I can. Let's see. Uh, in my opinion, it's getting closer and closer to the final solution, but not, yeah, not really. Yes. Being more capable, but yeah, with that said, yeah, it's correct. Yeah. Let me for 5 minutes. Try. Number. Should be. Correct answer. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see if it's working, but yeah. It's very with this circular reference and so on. Stuff I don't like it. Can't do much. Interesting. It's done on theory that should be working. Certain that would not. Yeah, it does not. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, that was my trial. Yeah, it didn't work. Thank you for your time. Hope to see you in future video when OpenAI release some model that we can test again and see if it's able to solve it. Take care.